Well, we're back at it. The past couple days I've spent ordering parts up, cleaning parts that I got off the ski. I threw the new motor mounts in it, and we're back at it now. I got all the gaskets in. I'm going to walk you guys through everything that I bought for it, and I'm going to show you guys me throwing the oil cooler in and the new front cover that I ordered into it. So let's go. Well, like I said, I spent the past couple days ordering everything that I need to at least get this cover back on. I ordered the cover, like I said in the last video, through the same guy that was getting me an exhaust for it. He had a pretty clean cover here. It's about $100 is what he told me. So got it, shipped it right over, and then I ordered the rest of the gaskets from Jetski International. It's a website online. They had all Honda OEM gaskets. So that's the front cover gasket. And then obviously I ordered all the intake O-rings that I might need, as well as all the exhaust and turbo gaskets for it. And that's the oil drain for the turbo, the manifold gasket. So I've just ran a tap through all the holes in the block, make sure they're all cleaned out from all the corrosion and everything. I'm going to go ahead and put the oil cooler back on it. So for the oil cooler, the two O-rings got for it, part number 91310 PH7000. I'm going to take them out of packaging here real quick. Damn, packaging stout. Gotta chew on the packaging. If you don't, you aren't doing it right. Take the two O-rings. Never put an O-ring in dry. I normally use the assembly goo. Get the stuff off of Amazon. Give it a little bit of lubricant right there. Stick it on the little guides that it has. Now, I did try looking for the torque spec for these bolts, especially since I was going to be doing it on YouTube. Want to make sure I do it right, not spread any misinformation. But I could not find the torque spec for these bolts to save my life. So, because of that, I'm just going to be tightening them with a 1/4-inch ratchet. Feel them out, be careful, and be careful. I'm gonna set it right nice down on them dowels. And take my two bolts. Nice. Sat down on the dowels there. Start these two bolts. So I'm going to walk you guys through getting a replacement turbo for your Honda Aquatrax. I have a F12X, And with that comes the stock is the RHF5 ball bearing turbo that came on them. They're known for locking up because they're known for having oil delivery issues. So a new one of these, as far as I could find, there's really only one reputable company that sells a replacement online, and they go anywhere from I believe $600 all the way up to like $1,200, depending on how you get it, with a new compressor housing, new exhaust housing, new wastegate actuator and everything. I didn't want to spend that much on a turbo. For this thing, it didn't really seem worth it. Plus their warranty process is kind of a hassle between you have to get a reading on the oil pressure delivery to the turbo, and you have to send them a video and all that. So I did a little bit of digging, and I was able to find that some people use a Isuzu cartridge. So the stock part number off the ball bearing turbo is VB66064. From what I was able to find, I don't know if that's for the F15X or for the F12X. Also found another source online that said that the stock part number for this turbo was a VB660072. I wasn't able to find that in the IHI catalog, so I don't know how true that is. But the Isuzu part number that everyone was saying to use was a VB430065. And that part number was eventually superseded by a VC430084. I bought that cartridge thinking that it'd be a relatively direct swap. All I'd have to do is drill out these holes to clock the housing. So I went ahead and bought this turbo. After shipping, I want to say it was about $130, $140 from China. So I got it, and then thinking I would just be able to put the compressor housing on and clock it as necessary, but I found out that this actually has a 2mm larger compressor wheel. So now I couldn't just take the other one, put it on here, and then clock it. I have to buy the compressor housing that comes with this turbo and then drill and tap to clock it. So it is what it is. Still, all in all, after buying this and the compressor housing, I'm probably only at about $230, $240. Seems worthwhile. The only con of swapping to this turbo is that it's a journal bearing turbo as opposed to the ball bearing factory turbo. I'm not really super concerned about that. Journal bearing turbos kind of typically last a lot longer and don't have as many problems as ball bearing turbos. Ball bearing turbos do normally spool up a little bit faster, but I'm not really worried about the spooling difference. I think that it'll still be all right. So I'm going to make an update for this once I get the new compressor housing, and I'll show you guys the process of how I figured out where to drill and tap it for the new housing. But as of right now, I'm at a standstill because I made the mistake of thinking I wouldn't need it. Here you can see that these are the stock turbo lines. They're kind of junk. Mine are obviously rotted as all hell, but I plan to take these out. I'm probably going to tap them so that I can run a -8 fitting, and I'm going to find fittings for all of these so that I can run an AN line rather than the junky stock lines. They have issues with clogging up, mostly at the banjo bolts, but they're known to get clogged up, and honestly they just look like hell, and they're ridiculously expensive. They're over $100 a piece. There's 2 drains and then the feed. So I plan to rid of all of that so that I can just run a normal hydraulic line from fitting to fitting on the turbo, and then after that, once I mock all that up, it'll be ready to get dropped back in. Now I got the new compressor housing in for the turbo, so I'm going to show you guys how to clock it correctly to match and bolt on in place of the stock one. Now, in order to do this, I wanted to sit the turbo on something level that both of them would be on, so I knew that I could kind of compare, so I knew where I wanted it to be. So I got this sanding block that sits perfectly where the oil drain goes. So I'm just going to put that on a flat surface. Set the turbo there. Now the bolts are out of this one, but this is clocked the way it was when it came off. So I'm just going to set that one there. Kind of get a feel for it. Now to make sure they're good, I got this, it's just a mechanical magnetic base angle finder. Now it's not, the compressor housings aren't magnetic, they're aluminum. So it is a little bit hard to get balance on there, but You can see there, it's, you know, roughly 16 degrees. This isn't an exact science, kind of just getting a feel for it. That's also says it's at about 16 right now. Eyeballing them, that looks to be right. So there's probably a better way to do this, but that's good enough for me. The only thing I hope isn't a complication is that the compressor housing is a little bit like longer, I guess you can say, than the old one. So I did measure them. They are like pretty damn close to the same size. The exducer there, it's the same size. There's a 2 millimeter difference here for the intake, but I don't think that's anything that the boot won't be able to compensate for. So next I'm going to mark this, and then I'll show you guys the drilling and tapping process. So I took a paint pen and I marked the location of where all the holes need to be. Then we can just pop this out. See them all there. Now, if you're using the stock compressor housing bolts, they are 5 millimeter by 0.8 thread. And went and got that tap from the Ace Hardware. And then the drill bit size for that is 4.2 millimeter. So. And there you have it. Now it's got all the bolts in it, all threaded in perfectly good, tightened up well. So now I'm going to take it back apart. I'm going to RTV here, and then it'll be together. There you have it. That's a fully assembled turbo. Swap right onto your Honda Aquatrax. Got the exhaust housing here. So you'll just put it in there and put the band clamp around there, and ready to go back in the ski. Hopefully this helps some of y'all find part numbers in the future and make you more confident in swapping in, so you don't have to spend all that money.